disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. And that simple statement is the key to science. It doesn't make a difference how beautiful your guess is. It doesn't make a difference how smart you are who made the guess or what his name is. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
Yeah, look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get it. Got a little time on my hands like a wristwatch. I don't got time for the brakes and the pit stop. Race through the gridlock, take it like Chris Rock. Right to the chin, still win. Heavy metals like Slipknot. Got the driving, I got tunnel vision. I just hit my stride the way I run the business. I've been making paper like I'm Dunder Mifflin. See the end game, I got one division. Look, I don't ever bother with a critic. Hit him with a chronicle of Riddick. Boom, bottle full of Ritalin. I hit him with a little bit of riddle me this, riddle me that. My bad, fell asleep at the gas. No time to wait though. Elon Musk, I'm trying to bankroll. New Tesla just cause I say so. Electric whip like Ivan Van Gogh. I just did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, I've been on a mission. Okay, let's get it.
I've been on a mission like totally spice. I'm a baddie, but she totally nice. Nails are blue and her toes feel like white. They completely match out at the soul for my leg. He knew it for sure, but he left.
What is up, party people? All right, so got some big news. Big news. Okay, so first of all, in the chat, you guys got to let me know if my audio's good. You're going to have to let me know if the panelists' audio is good. For one big reason, I got a new computer. So all that audio crap, all that lagging, all that crap should be handled. So hopefully it'll work itself out. Let me know in the chat as long as all my settings are good. Obviously, OBS is going to be basic because I have zero setup on it. It's literally just there. So we'll see how that works out. I have text on the panel. As you guys can see, we were kind of just BSing. I really don't have anything specific to talk about. My main goal was to get the live stream going, make sure that the computer is running beautifully so far, which it is. So I'm pretty happy. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to TextLex, who actually helped me find this computer. Yeah, I'm extremely happy. I'd show it to you guys, but then I have to like grab my camera and then move it around, and fuck, it's such a pain in my butt right now. All right, so there are things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Awake Soul. He got pretty upset, but I don't care anymore. That dude, I've been cool with him for like 9 years, and the dude got pissed off because I called it a Pac-Man model. He banned me from his channel. So, we're going to talk about his model that he claims everyone is stealing for some odd reason, yet doesn't work at all. Want to talk about the ISS. Anyone who, any flat earthers that are listening right now, contact with Sleeping Warrior, let him know I'm coming again. If he doesn't know, he knows exactly what that means. We are in a comment battle about the ISS. Some reason he thinks it is impossible for the ISS to actually be defunding and decaying. I don't know. I wanted to show you guys a failed rocket thing. That was pretty badass. Hang on, let me get over here. So I'm going to go ahead and join the Discord. Give me a second, guys, so I can hear you. What's up, Montreal? What's up, Tex?
Hey.
How you doing, Montreal? Welcome.
Yo, what's up, bro?
How have things been?
All good. Thought I'd drop in and say hi.
I appreciate that. Like, have you heard about the? Oh, I know you know about the ISS. That'd be a ridiculous thing to ask you. Have you heard about Sleeping Warrior's claim about the ISS?
No, negative.
So he's saying that it's all just BS. That they're actually not going to be decommissioning it or decaying it. Or it's kind of loaded, right? He says that it coming back to Earth is bullshit. So I guess the ISS is just complete bullshit to him. So we're going back and forth in comments, and I'm trying to explain to him, I know I live streamed it about 5 years ago, but they've been talking about it for a decade now. What they're going to do with the ISS once they don't want to fund it anymore. Trump, I think, officially defunded it, making it so that after this year, it won't be funded by the government.
Well, you heard what the latest contract they gave out to for the decommissioning thing. Have you heard that one?
No, I haven't.
Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Did you hear what I said? They gave a contract, $980 million to SpaceX for a rocket to deburn it. Did you hear that one?
2D burn, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I heard about that. That would, as far as I know, just make the process happen faster.
Yeah, but hold on, bro. Don't they have retro rockets that they use to prop it up every so often? So why don't they just let it drop? I guess maybe they want to get the right trajectory or something, but $1 billion rocket to deburn it? I don't know, bro.
I, I think I'm gonna guess this. This is gonna be a guess, cause right. I think it is an opportunity for SpaceX to build a rocket that can do specific things. The reasoning there, I would think that they want to do this, is primarily to exacerbate. Exacerbate, is that the word I want? Speed up the process. I think from what I read, if we were to let it naturally decay, it would take, I think it was like a year or something like that. But with this method, they can actually pick basically the decay date and I guess make it like a pinpoint landing where they want it to drop her, is what I would think.
I would imagine they don't have enough fuel. If only we had an engineer. Oh, hey, look who's here, Blue.
What's up, Blue? How you doing, sir? Yeah, you would actually be perfect for this combo.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Blue?
Hey, see.
Long time no talk.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So did you gotta get the grasp of what we were talking about, Blue?
Yeah, you're talking about bringing the ISS out of orbit. Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
the SpaceX contract that they're talking about with the rocket, would that be primarily just to get it when they want it, where they want it?
I haven't really paid any attention or read anything about it, Sean. I didn't know how they were planning on going about doing it. Have they got SpaceX involved in making something for them now, or what? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Okay, I see it.
Well, apparently they want to send it back to Earth, and they commissioned SpaceX close to $1 billion to make a rocket to deburn it. And I was wondering, can't they use those little retro rockets they have? I guess not, right? Guess ain't enough.
Don't know that they have any, actually.
On the ISS?
Don't they have those little things that they every once in a while to?
They've got reaction control wheels, I think, is what they use to keep.
No, besides that, the gyroscope and the reaction control, they have 4 gyros, right? But besides that, don't they have these little retro rockets which they use for orientation every once in a while?
You know, they might. See, I have no idea. I'm really not sure about it.
All right, so I'm looking at it right now. It says SpaceX has won the right to tackle a monumental task, destroying the ISS. The demolition will shove the iconic and enormous station down through Earth's atmosphere into a Fury display. And if anything goes wrong, a cascade of debris could rain down on our planet's surface. Built on the postcode word. Yeah, so basically, that's exact. Yeah, it's to basically, have more of a accurate landing location and timing for its decay, because the decay would take a long time. I do know that.
So basically, for our safety.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we already had one of those things come down uncontrolled. It was called Skylab.
Yeah,
It
wasn't that
scattered
the?
all across
That's
Australia,
true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
but there was
Um,
no. They didn't have any planned method of deorbiting that damn thing.
because to me, it just seems like it's a good opportunity for SpaceX to build something that could interact with something in space and dock and move it, um,
Hmm.
while at the same time making money, while at the same time getting a headache out of the sky. Because as long as that thing's up in the air, the federal government, the space agencies, no, maybe the federal government that funds it. They're paying every orbit. They're paying a lot of fucking money, and I know Trump for sure defunded it for this year. So the end of this year, the government will no longer fund it. I know they were trying to sell it to private sector, get them involved, but I don't think anyone was willing to pay what it costs, spec wise, to keep it up.
Hmm. It doesn't really belong to us though.
Well, it's like a
Parts of it
well,
do.
yeah, but I think we have the main funding of it.
The Ruskies are heavily involved, to be sure.
Oh yeah, China, all of them.
Oh
I
yeah,
know
there's
there's a
lots
lot.
of countries that have parts and pieces hooked onto that thing. JAXA's involved. The European Space Agency is involved.
We even got an arm involved in it, literally.
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah. Canada's got parts up there.
Um,
Oh yeah, it's not all just U.S., but
oh yeah, there's a lot of different.
yeah, but they're going to want to they're going to want to bring it down in a controlled fashion if that's sensible. You sure as hell don't want that huge thing uh, landing in the middle of Detroit or
Yeah.
London
So
or Moscow or something.
it says, in addition to collaborations from the United States, other nations are contributing to the project. They include Russia, Canada, Japan, Brazil, 11 participating member countries of the European Space Agency, the current space station. So those are the countries that pay in every year basically to keep the ISS up there. But the United States is the I'm trying to look for a amount. I know I saw amount earlier. It was like 84 billion or million. I probably should figure out that number exact, but yeah. So they contribute 94 billion. That doesn't seem right. Why does it say billion a year? Hang on, I want to find another source because that doesn't seem right to me.
So how sad is it that you don't have any means of transportation now to the ISS, and like you're basically stuck with your top enemy right now, giving you rides there? And yeah, well, I guess you're outsourcing it to SpaceX, but man, what happened to the American space program?
I think
Well,
I
we got
like.
SpaceX.
I think I like that's still happening. That they've taken the political bullshit side of what's going on in the world and went, that is off limits. That doesn't count. Let's keep doing our science. Nothing else counts besides. I think that's still a good thing. I don't think we're going into Russia though. I don't think we're taking trips up there with Russia. I think who are we piggybacking with now? I want to say China,
SpaceX.
Japan.
SpaceX, yeah, it seems they're
Okay.
taking the subcontracting route. That's what it seems that the States is doing now with the space program and every other program for that matter, it seems.
But we've been doing that for decades on decades. NASA couldn't possibly do everything.
Well, no, but you see, before they were controlling everything and sending out subcontracts like building and stuff, but they were running the show, right? Now it seems that they gave everything up, like logistics and control, and I don't know. Like, what does NASA do really? When SpaceX throws a rocket up, right? How is NASA involved in this?
probably a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah,
Reese,
yeah. But are they involved in the mission control, or are they involved in the
oh yeah,
trajectory? I don't know how it works anymore.
well yeah. So there, I do know there is still a chain of command, um, where if space anything SpaceX does, I would think that they use their connection with NASA for something. I don't know, because the reason I say that is because I know for a long time before Noah ran everything, you other agencies would have to interact with NASA to coordinate launches. I now know NOAA does that. Yeah, no, so NASA's taken itself out of that already. Um, no one's reporting to NASA. NASA's just a space agency that's funded by government and people.
Yeah, what do they do? What's their function? Collect and disperse funds? I don't know.
Science, yeah, yeah, well, yeah, yeah. That's get shit done. I mean, it'd be, believe it or not, it's cheaper to have SpaceX do it than to have um, NASA do it themselves.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah, that's
So
for
I mean,
sure.
so if there's anything, I mean, we should be happy SpaceX is around, so we don't have to give so much fucking money to NASA.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, he cut the cost literally like by what, Blue 90% or something, like
Yeah, he made it.
dramatic cost.
They
Yeah,
made, yeah, he made it competitive market, and I actually have
reusable.
yeah, and I actually have firsthand experience with this kind of situation because remember, I was on Camp Pendleton for 15 years with on a civilian contract, and one of the things that we noticed in that time frame is one, it's very and this isn't good, right? This isn't a good thing for me. It's very easy to get in bed with the government. Um, After the first 5 years of our contract, the last 10 years, we knew we weren't going anywhere. We knew what we had to say, we knew what we had to do, and we knew exactly what we needed to do to stay there. I see that any civilian contract with with any government agency has those issues. I think that's probably one of the biggest problems. But at the same time, it does make things more efficient.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you got private people, they're gonna spend the money more wisely. That goes without saying, right? Yeah.
What's
Do you
up,
want to
Blue? Behind
stick
you.
on this, bro, or because since Blue's here, I wanted to maybe go into the gyroscope thing because Blue did a very good and he seems to be up on par.
Oh
You
yeah,
want
absolutely.
to stay on this, or you want to touch
Oh
something
no,
else?
no. If you want in Blue want to talk about that, that's cool. Actually, that will give me a second because I have found a gyroscope simulator. I haven't looked at it though. But
Mm,
if you guys wanted to go into
really?
that, Blue, while you guys do that, I'll try to find the simulator.
Well, let's see it.
Yeah, let's see it. And I want you to be in on the combo too, bro. I want you to hear it. I mean, because Blue did a pretty good video there, and he seems to know his stuff more than most.
Blue is definitely a smart dude.
Just
As most,
watch Walter Lewin at MIT. He'll teach you
one of,
everything you ever wanted to know about gyroscopes.
one of my
Yeah,
favorites. Yeah, one of my
I
favorites.
I started that. Holy crap, that's long. Very complicated. Very complicated. What's the guy's name? There's a guy, Blue. You probably know who he is. He's in Discord, and he teaches celestial navigation, gyroscopes, and all that stuff. Fuck. Protothad. You guys, you know who that is?
Protofat. I heard of that. He's been around, right? He
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
in the
yeah.
servers. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. He has put himself. I guess you would say. He has put himself in the blue soundly category. Like they've done too much, so then they're just auto hated.
Yeah, well, so far
It,
most of the ballers I've talked to have no clue about gyroscopes. Blue seems to know what he's talking about.
You talking about? You're talking about Protothan, that guy,
Yes, that's
the
him.
celestial navigation guy? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He
I
doesn't
actually,
talk about gyroscopes. He talks about
oh,
celestial navigation. He's
okay.
really good too.
Yeah, I actually want to get him on to talk to, because I don't know crap about this. I just know basics. Um, I would love to get him on to have that conversation, because I want to use some of his clips and stuff. Um, but I don't really know the guy, so I got to get to know him before I'm comfortable him just being on here. That
Oh,
sounds
he's
weird.
a hell of a nice guy.
Okay,
You'll
okay,
enjoy getting him in.
okay,
He
perfect. Yeah,
definitely knows what he's talking about. He can walk the walk
okay.
for
So
sure.
when in the celestial conversation, he is the guy. That's for sure. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Let me. Okay, so I'm not gonna. Okay, I've looked at this maybe once. Hang
The
on.
basics of celestial navigation are fairly straightforward. The details of it are incredibly complicated.
Oh yeah, just like the gyroscope, it seems that it's intuitive, but nothing could be further from the truth.
And there's nothing intuitive about a gyroscope.
Yep.
Now, okay, so I'm about to share my screen. I don't get this. I'm not gonna lie. I don't get what the fuck I'm looking at right now.
Nobody gets it, bro. This is like you gotta understand torque, you gotta understand the spin, and oh my god, bro, a million things.
Hang on, let me close.
Precession, yeah.
Okay, so
Right hand rule, right blue.
okay, so what we're looking at right now is a gyroscope. I don't know. I
Where
don't
are we
know.
looking? Oh,
I'm sharing it
live.
in Discord. Yeah,
Okay.
I figured it'd just be
Yeah.
easier.
You gonna share it on YouTube too? Yeah.
Yeah, they can see it.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Okay, so what's up, Briggs? Yes, brand new computer. Yeah, I got a brand new computer, everyone. So happy. Yay. I can actually share shit. Okay, what the fuck am I looking at? That's obviously a gyroscope.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now it's in its precession, right? That's what we're looking at.
Yep.
I don't know what it's doing. Who's
I
doing it?
mean,
Doing the wobbly precession thing. Yeah.
yeah. I have the setting. It's just the basic settings on here. Yeah, because there's more I can add to it. I spent like 3.5 seconds looking at this, so I don't really know what the fuck I'm looking at.
Here, try to apply friction to the gimbal. Can you do
Okay.
stuff like that?
Yes, right here.
You'll
on the
see it's
top.
gonna rise. If you apply friction to the gimbal, it's gonna go up.
Okay, so this is double what was there. It shows its precession. So what would this be simulating it doing right now?
I have no idea what they're simulating.
Yeah, me either.
Well, it's just showing precession.
Yeah.
It's very simple. That's all it's showing. Yeah.
Well, if you make some assumptions, yes.
Well, what else is it doing? It's just processing, Blue. Now we can describe some of the characteristics. Like I said, if you apply friction to the gimbal, it should rise.
Yes.
If you apply pressure to the spinning wheel, it should go down. So these are things that we can talk about, but that's like way advanced, bro. Like, yeah.
If I may, gentlemen, I learnt quite a grasp the gyro very well by watching how they used it on aircraft carriers in the US Navy, because they need to keep their deck very stable in oceans because they've got to land planes on them. And the way it worked was the gyro itself was just a huge rotating wheel, but on either side of it was like a universal joint, which went to these little, like ailerons on an aircraft. So as the thing swung a bit left, what the gyro would do was actually the aircraft carrier itself was moving, but the gyro was maintaining its position and altering a little flap that would then tilt the aircraft carrier back to the right thing to keep the decking level. So just looking at how it operated on the aircraft carrier, you see all the principles and go, oh, okay, it's the inertia of the wheel not being affected by the roll of the carrier and the ocean sort of affecting it. But I've learned a lot just watching that principle on an aircraft carrier. Thanks.
Oh yeah, they have them on yachts. They stabilize. Yeah, it's exactly what you just said. Yep.
But you see the linkages because you can all. I don't know if any of you ever had a bike wheel. You know when you did your push bike as a kid and you rolled the front wheel when it was out, and then when you hold it up, it's straight. When you turn it, the torque force on your hands nearly pulls the wheel out of your hand if you don't have a good grip on it. I don't know if you did that as a kid, but I definitely did.
Well, actually, a bike wheel is a good demonstration of a gyroscope. When you just leave the wheel there, it falls over, right? When you roll it, it stays
Yeah.
upright. That's a gyroscope right there. Yeah.
And the beauty is a bicycle itself, the weight of the wheels is probably what? Oh, 2 to 3 kilograms, 6 or 7 pounds each. And yet the upward force of the back and the front wheel, as soon as you move off at 1 or 2 kilometres an hour, it's enough to hold your weight, 50 to 100 kilos, up in the air. And as soon as you stop on the bike, you fall over. So again, a push bike, very little weight, is holding up a lot of weight.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly that. Yeah.
Okay.
And all because of the wheel and the precession. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. So, because you said you wanted me to be involved, so we're gonna have to start basic if I'm involved. So.
Yeah,
what
that's a
is
good
your-
start right there. It shows. Yeah.
So, what is the contention, the issue with the gyroscope and how the globe model uses it?
There's no contention. The thing is, the talk is, and that's why I want to ask Blue, right? We want to show that if you take a gyroscope, spin it up, and travel, right? If you're on a curve, like you guys think you're on a globe, right? The gyroscope base should show orientation change. That's what we're talking about here. Now, the contention is amongst the community that we can't find a gimbal sensitive enough, a gyroscope sensitive enough. So since Blue is here, maybe we can crack this issue and find a gyroscope that is sensitive enough.
Yeah, in fact, that guy was FE Core built one.
That's what I keep hearing, Blue. But is that the only one, bro? Is that the only gyroscope that you think is sensitive enough for us to see the base change due to orientation? I mean, surely that can't
No,
be the only one.
no.
Nope. Ring laser gyros on every aircraft show that day in, day out.
Yeah, you can see it with
We're
a
talking
ring laser.
mechanical.
You can also see it with mechanical gyros too.
Yeah.
An attitude indicator would do that if it didn't have pendulous vanes in it.
There are mechanical gyros, but they're fairly expensive. You're talking about inertial nav systems like the Delco Carousel IVA. That one does use mechanical gyros, but it is at this point phased out because it's old and not really required anymore.
So let me ask you guys this, right? An obvious question. That El Cheapo one, the precision one that they use, you guys think that that's not good enough to show not rotation precession change, but the base, like orientation precession change. You think that's not good enough?
Which one are you talking about, Essie?
You know, the one that's it's called the precision gyroscope. It costs around $200. Comes with all these gimbals and a motor. You must have seen that one.
I probably have, but I don't know.
I'm putting one up on.
So can you recommend one, Blue? Can you recommend one that's sufficient enough not to show spinning, right? Like, but to show orientation change, not rotation. Because we got some guys that want to do it, right? And solve this once and for all. But the ballers keep saying, well, it's not sensitive enough to gimbal this and that. And, so.
Wait, hang on. Let me ask this question. What you're asking is there a gyroscope accurate enough to measure what you want? But aren't they already doing that?
Well, yes, we have one FE core, the one that Blue said, but that he shows rotation, right? That's not what we're after. We're after
you-
orientation change.
That is
You
the
get
orientation
you see what
change.
I'm saying, right, Sean?
Isn't that the orientation change though?
No, that's rotational. What FE core did, he showed rotational precession, right? Seemingly because the Earth is turning underneath the spinning gyroscope. But I'm talking about showing orientation change. In other words, the platform underneath the spinning gyroscope. Blue knows what I'm talking about, right, Blue?
You're wanting to see it change as the Earth rotates, or you're wanting to see it change as you travel across the surface of the Earth? Which
The
one?
second one. The second one.
Well, that's the entire reason an attitude indicator has pendulous vanes in it. A mechanical attitude indicator has to have
Exactly.
those pendulous vanes. If it doesn't have them, it will roll back on you.
Yes, Blue. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about bringing a gyroscope, a mechanical gyroscope, on a plane
Yeah.
without those pendulum vanes, obviously, because we don't want an orientation change, right?
Yeah.
But then aren't you talking about a compass now?
No, I'm talking about an
No,
attitude
no.
indicator.
I'm so
Yeah, this would be an attitude, exactly. Yeah, an attitude indicator. All you need is one a gyroscope that has one level of tilt, right? You don't need two or three.
Okay, so when I gotta go back to what I was just looking at because I'm so fucking confused right now.
It's simple, bro. Let me explain to you. What you have a gyroscope. You spin it on the gimbal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You seen those the one that FE Core has? It's like a square.
Okay.
Sean?
No. Hang on. Let me type in FE core gyroscope. Should come up. I'm not seeing. I don't know what it looks like. I assumed it looked like this, the one he had. And I'm about to share my screen. Okay. All right. Keep getting yelled at too. All right. All right. Here you go. I'll give you one.
I'll show you a mechanical gyro that can show attitude precession due to movement, but you got to give me 3 minutes. I got to step away for a moment, so I can just only listen, and I can't answer within 3 minutes.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I'd like to see that.
All right, Escape. I am reading my chat. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, so we put... Is it like this? Hang on. Why isn't this sharing? I'm trying to share, but it won't let me. Yeah, Hugo, I know they never put it up, but there are pictures of it. I know that for sure. I have to find them. I can't make my share screen go up. There we go. Okay, so let me just back up for a second. So the gyroscope that FE Core built, it registered the rotation.
10 degree, 10 something. Yeah.
The one you want would show the orientation of whatever you're on changing. Why didn't you just use?
His thing did just rotation, bro. It did nothing to do with orientation.
Then what's the difference between that and what you want, machine wise?
Because I'll explain to you. Because that's a stationary gyroscope. We're talking about moving it, right? Picture this: if you move that around a sphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if you pick up that gyroscope and move the base, right? You can tilt the base to the left, to the right, but the wheel will stay locked in place. You understand? So the
Yes.
base can move, yeah, but the spinning gyro will stay in the same orientation. So that's what we're after, right? And you can see if you because there's like lines on the bottom, right? Even on this FE core, there's like a graph, and you can see the orientation change very simply.
Well, that orientation. What would that orientation change be due to?
Due to curve, due to displacement, like
Because
uneven displacement of the base.
in the gyroscope, and so right now, currently, you think that they don't do that, right?
Well, yeah. I haven't seen any. As a matter of fact, Rakia did took took one on a plane and he flew like 1,700 miles and no displacement. Now, mind you, the gyroscope that he used, the ballers don't think that's sufficient for spinning, right? But I'm wondering, and that's why I want to ask Blue. Surely it should be enough for that, right? For orientation change.
I'm just confused by. 'Cause I thought he said he did it on his boat.
I think he said on a plane.
No, you're right. Because
Could be wrong though.
I
Could
think
be
his
wrong.
brother has a plane, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. His brother does fly. Yeah. He does fly. Yeah. So it's probably that.
But I do
So
know for a
that's the
fact he
thing.
didn't
That's the
record
thing,
it,
Blue.
though.
I'm wondering
Sorry.
what Blue thinks about this.
Well, I think he'd be introducing all kinds of variables, trying to do that. Number
Like
one,
what?
the Earth isn't going to stop spinning for you just because you're traveling.
Correct.
Number
If it's spinning, yeah.
number two, number two, you're going to introduce all kinds of disturbance, just from jostling the thing around.
No, but you started in the plane, Blue. You started while you're.
Yeah, and the plane bounces around. The plane hits potholes on the runway. The plane hits turbulence as it climbs out. The plane runs through cloud banks. The plane does all kinds of things. So you're not in you're not on a stable base to begin with. That's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah,
you
but
would
how do
need
all
a.
those
I don't
gyros
know
work in?
I don't know how to account for all of that.
How do they do it in the plane? The 6-pack, right? You heard of the 6-pack? Sure, you have.
The six-pack gyros are specifically geared and they're precession corrected to avoid exactly this kind of an effect.
Right. So I'm sure we can do the same thing with a gyroscope. Like, what would you think would cause erratic things? Like maybe a jostling in the
Yeah,
gimbal will cause like some friction, stuff like
yeah,
that.
it's
You're
going
thinking?
to. It has to. You're introducing
Okay.
loads when you do that. No matter how
Okay. So
minor they might seem, any bearing has got friction. There is no frictionless bearing.
agreed. Yeah, of course. So can you envision one that can work? Like you're saying this, forget it, it won't work.
Well, I'm saying the stuff you can probably buy on Amazon I doubt is going to work.
Okay. So what are we left with? Is there a more accurate one we can buy? Are we rendered to just building one? What's the solution?
Well, I don't know. We could start looking into companies like Bendix that make that kind of stuff.
Well, you're more qualified for that, Blue. You're an engineer.
for
What's that?
airborne service. Yeah,
Can you find one? Can you do some research? And like, because if you recommend one, the ballers will be more acceptive. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm asking you if you can recommend
would be
one that you think will be sufficient.
What would be the price tag on something like that?
Yeah, that's another
A
thing.
lot.
Yeah.
big.
Is this?
Well, look, the
is it-
FE Core one, the FE Core guy, right? He says what gimbals he uses and all that stuff. So, Blue, can you build one? If we do a crowdfunding,
Hell
you're the
no,
guy for this.
Well, not me. I'm not. that's some of the most precise machine work you can ever run into. You see.
You
well,
build the freaking whole thing, bro. You can't build this. You build the whole
I'm not.
apparatus.
I'm a metal worker, a woodworker. You see, not a metal worker.
Right, right.
I don't have I have neither the tooling nor the knowledge to build a thing like that.
Okay. Well, thanks for your honesty, I guess. So what? So what? Well, there's not one freaking gyroscope in the whole world. Come on, Blue. I refuse to believe that.
They exist, but they're expensive because they're at this point vintage equipment. Nobody uses them for active navigation anymore because we got better systems that are cheaper, which you refuse to want to look at.
It's not that refuse. We want a mechanical one where we can eyeball and.
There's your refusal. Everybody now uses ring laser and fiber optics.
Hang on. Why does it need to be mechanical?
Well, because this way there can be no doubt, right? It's a kinematic system, right? There's no one can say, well, the light got affected by this and that, and this is like a mechanical, proof positive thing.
Okay. I see. Okay. Do you at least understand that? I get why, but you understand that the means at which to do so would be near impossible for this.
I refuse to believe that. I think this is excuses, Sean. Sorry.
Okay. I'm looking right now. A father and son. Like, I'm just random Google searches, so don't take it for what it is. A father and son built one for their ship. That cost them $16,000, and they built it from scratch. Then you go to basically the probably the most expensive there can be, which is a gas. Where is it? Fuck, I lost it. Hang on. It was like a gas something. Gas bearing gyroscope. And that one, shit. Let's see how much that one cost. And the one that cost 16 was something called a Gyro B, and it's like a downgraded version of what we're talking about.
Yeah, like I said, they are at this point largely vintage equipment, so whatever you find is essentially almost a museum piece.
That's freaking hard to believe that there's not anybody making these gyroscopes. Like,
no, because we don't need to. We got better ones. It's like you're trying to ask why nobody's making vacuum tube computers anymore. Every computer is using transistors. That's because we stopped using them because we've got better ways to do it.
Yeah, I hear that, but they still make turntables, right? People still play records, so I'm sure there's got to be somebody that wants to.
Yeah, and there are strapped-down solid-state inertial navigation systems that use ring laser and fiber optic gyros instead of mechanical ones, because the mechanical ones were faulty and much more expensive to build. So we stopped building them about 30 years ago.
Wouldn't that mean that if let's just say we were able to crowdfund and build what you want, this mechanical gyroscope, wouldn't then the issue be that it'd be faulty because it's mechanical? Wouldn't that be like the biggest worry we'd have is so we went from mechanical. The reason we upgraded essentially from mechanical gyroscopes is because of the inaccuracies, the faults that you would have to encounter using
Yeah.
them. So then they upgraded them to make it simpler and take out all those factors.
Yes.
So if we go back and build one, we're just adding to the it could go wrong.
Yeah. It's essentially like trying to handcraft, but a much more refined mechanical watch instead of using just a digital watch, which is far cheaper and simpler. You know, I'm using this as an analogy because to make a navigation grade mechanical gyro is a lot more expensive than making a mechanical watch.
Yeah, and the comparison would be the time it takes you to look at your watch, figure out where the hands are, compared to a digital watch where you get to just see the time instantly.
It's about the internals. The internals are much more complicated and much more labor intensive, whereas a digital watch or an electronic watch, you can basically buy the components off the shelf for something like $2.
I can't
Don't the
find how
boats
much.
still use mechanical gyro compasses?
Yeah, gyro compasses. Are still
Some do,
used.
some don't. It really depends upon what you're looking for. And I thought you didn't want a compass that works based on precession. You want
No, I'm just saying because you said they don't use them anymore. I'm just merely because I read boats over 30,000 tons are required by law to have a mechanical gyroscope.
but you wanted
Unless
one
that changed now.
you wanted one that shows spatial orientation change. Gyro compasses do not show that because they are designed to measure precession within just a flat plane in order to essentially determine the cardinal direction that the ship is facing. There is a mathematical correlation between the principal axis of rotation of the Earth versus your latitude and your spatial heading. And that's what those gyro compasses show. And they'll show that even when you're stationary. What you want is for it to show on an aircraft vertical tilt, and that's what a gyro compass will not show. It is designed to damp out that mode. So you don't want
I'm aware.
a boat mechanical gyros. You don't want a boat gyro compass. You want a spatial inertial navigation gyro platform essentially, which is
Hang
what's
on one
used in
second.
what was used in aircraft.
Yeah, I'm
Hang on a
aware of
second.
that. I never once suggested that a gyro compass would do that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
because you guys said they eliminated mechanical compasses, gyroscopes. I'm saying that I think they still use them on boats today.
For inertial navigation systems, they've been eliminated. For heading determination, they are still used in some cases, but that's also a system that you probably wouldn't want to take on an aircraft. It wouldn't work correctly.
Wait.
Yeah, no kidding. Nobody ever said that.
Hang on.
Stop saying that, buddy. Nobody ever said that.
Hang on 1 second. Don't planes use? I flew in a plane that had a mechanical one.
What you're thinking about is an attitude gyro, well, an attitude indicator driven by an internal gyro, which is somewhat of a different story.
Okay.
Those are designed.
I just want to make this clear in the chat because guys, I am watching it and I see it. Montreal, you don't care about this thing and detecting drift, right?
What do you mean?
The rotation of Earth, the tilt.
No,
Like
we're
that-
not talking
yeah.
about rotation now.
Exactly.
No, we're talking about
exactly. Yeah, no, hang on. Exactly. So everyone, because I guess someone shared a link in the chat. This link, first of all, it's 2 hours long, so I'm not going to show SC Montreal this. Second, it literally says detecting drift. We've already covered that he's not interested in that part. I'm trying to figure out what he wants. So if you're going to share links, please be part of it. Otherwise, I can't show him a 2 hour link about detecting drift with a mechanical gyroscope. Granted, the guy did build it. It does look pretty badass. I'll show you that part.
if he wants to learn that, just tell him to watch Blue's video. He does a very good job of explaining that. That's not what I'm talking about, though. We're talking about orientation change. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You want to see that. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm starting to get it. You want to see that when you've calibrated your gyroscope at one location and you've traveled we'll say 3,000 miles for fucks and giggles. You want to see its change. You want to see it still set from where you calibrated it at.
No, you're not. I don't think you understand, bro. No,
I don't.
Look, okay, just this is very simple, right? When a gyroscope spins, right, it keeps its rigidity in space, right? Now,
Okay.
the bottom, if you move the platform, right, you can move it left, right. You can pick up the gyroscope, hold it in your hand like a globe, right? See how a globe is and has its base, right? Now, imagine now you just tilt your hand to the left or to the right. You're changing orientation. It's no longer level, right? You can see the platform, your hand changing. But the gyroscope keeps its orientation on top. So
Okay.
you see the difference between the orientation of the gyroscope spinning the wheel and the platform. It's very simple.
Blue, how far would you have to go, or anybody could answer this, how far would you have to go for a cheaper one to... No? Okay, I see the problem. This is about money in Montreal. How much money do you think you're willing to spend to get one accurate enough?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out with Blue, because every time I ask ballers, and I've been asking for years, right? They bring me water from 100 different wells. Well, this is not good. That won't do it. This is bad. So that's why I want to ask Blue. He's an engineer. He's respected by the community. And if Blue comes up with one, everybody will accept it, I think. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Find an acceptable mechanical gyroscope so we can settle this once and for all.
Ooh, I like this gift. Something like this.
Yeah, that's illustrating the concept.
You want to see the base change in relation to the gyro.
Now
like
you're
that.
talking. Exactly.
So, okay.
So if you go around your sphere, right, Sean?
Yeah.
The base will change, but the wheel will stay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then here's my question. I get and correct me if I'm wrong, the cheaper gyroscopes make it almost impossible to do this over these very short distances. But would a cheaper
That's what
one
they
be able...
say.
Okay. Would a cheaper one work if you went to the other side of the Earth, though?
What do you mean? No, they say the cheaper ones won't work because the. Do I have a
Oh, the
feedback?
bearing
I'm
thing.
hearing myself.
No, I think it's got to be yours.
It's feeding
Check
back
your
through
YouTube.
Sean's. Sean is video streaming as YouTube, audio.
Huh?
Right.
Wait, what?
Okay.
So just mute Sean's stream and it'll go away.
Oh yeah, my live stream. Yeah.
So what were we saying?
We were saying the problem with the older one, the cheaper ones. What the Globers were saying to you, the problem with the cheaper ones were...
Right. They keep saying that the gimbals are not sensitive enough and there's too much friction.
Okay, so it basically gets stuck.
Yes.
It wouldn't be able...
And Jesse did one apparently on Lazy Susie. And when you do it slow, the ball follows the base. I haven't seen it, but I have no reason not to believe it. But when he does it fast, then it shows precession. But we're talking about spinning now, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not what I'm talking about. We're talking about the base. So I don't see how those the gimbals is not sensitive enough, because you're talking about the whole weight of the apparatus, right? And shall I say the word gravity? So this is not quite the same.
I think it's just an issue of friction and... See, I don't know the details of how it works, so
Yes. It is essentially a problem of friction. You're going to get, as the base minutely changes orientation, it's either going to drag the gyro with it, its principal axis, or it's going to cause it to precess in an unpredictable direction if you don't have very high quality bearings.
If you put any torque on that spin axis, you're going to induce precession.
Yep.
I think
Right,
that
so
should
you
be like a good sign of how complicated it is and how. And
Well,
now I get why the cheaper ones
You,
just don't work.
even a
yeah, well,
tiny, nearly unimaginable small torque on that spin axis will result in a gyro recessing.
and we're talking about very small, very slow rotations here that are enough to throw off your measurement. Have a look, Sean, at the video that I've posted there. That's that's the Litton LN3 navigational gyro that was used in inertial nav systems in like the 70s.
Yeah, but keep in mind, again, we're not talking about precession here, right? We're talking about orientation change.
That's right.
That's
The problem is if you don't have a very expensive purpose designed gyro, you're going to induce precession whether you want it or not.
Well, this is the crux of the problem. This is what you guys have been saying for years, and I've been asking for a gyroscope that's precise enough, but the only one you guys keep bringing up is the one from FE Core. Like, it's the only gyroscope in the world that can do this.
How
No,
much?
that's one. You look at one there on the screen, I think.
Well, let's see it, please, Blue. Let's go.
Wait,
Which
wait,
one
wait,
is
wait,
it?
wait. This isn't mechanical? Is this mechanical?
yes,
Is this?
Yeah.
that is
Oh.
mechanical. Yeah,
How much does that cost?
hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's the one we want. Yeah. Now imagine, like, 100. Come on. Seriously, guys?
But see,
Seriously.
but hang on,
Yes.
Montreal. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this. You're asking for something that is unfeasible by us.
It's ridiculous, bro. These are all excuses. There's no way. There's no way that it has to be that sensitive. I mean, come on.
Well, just come up with one then.
You see, so another unfalsifiable thing. Like everything for you guys, it has to be this one and that one. But guess how much it costs? $1 billion.
But
I mean,
hang on,
come on.
Montreal. But what you're saying is this. Essentially, what you're saying, you're going. This will help me prove where we live. I need to see it from space. All right, guys. We need to crowdfund a rocket. What is it going to take for us to build a rocket and go to space so we can end this? Like, that's what you're doing right now.
Sean.
Yes.
That's not the same thing. First of all, I can prove it right now. The one from FE Core you guys think is sufficient. Did that cost a few $100,000 to build?
No.
Obviously not, right?
I think it. I want to say 15, 16.
What, 1,000?
How much did that cost to build?
Oh, I don't know what they spent building that thing.
I can assure you it wasn't a few $100,000.
No, it wouldn't have.
Check this out, guys.
Oh,
Come
hell
on.
no.
Get
Not even
real.
close. No. I think it was in the 10,000 maybe range. It was expensive, Montreal. It wasn't cheap by no means.
For a few gimbals, bro?
Yes.
Come on. And some washers?
I don't think you
Yes.
understand how much precision machining and equipment costs. Not to mention the time he spent assembling it was probably also not paid for. If you actually paid that at commercial rates, well.
So not $300,000 though, right? So clearly, if you think that one, hold on.
I said that one specifically is very, very expensive, or at least it was when it was new, because it was aerospace grade tech. It was way more precise than you would need to show the rotation of the Earth. And second of all, yes, it was made in very small numbers to very high tolerances.
Wait, so Montreal, I'm confused.
I'm confused too, because we have two things here. We have, these guys are saying you need precision, like that'll cost up to 300,000. And on the other side, we have a guy from FE Core that built a gyroscope that you guys think detected Earth movement, right? Rotation, but clearly it didn't cost 300,000. So I think we're at an impasse here.
I think that everyone agrees that you don't need a $200,000 one. And Bob's definitely didn't. Bob's was like, what, 10 to 15-ish? And if that's if that's the marker at which the Globers are at least saying that would work, then that's kind of the price range you're talking about. Now, the next question would be: are you talking as if everyone, Flat Earth and Globe, need to crowdfund this, or are you expecting the Globers to show this?
Just a point of detail here. Bob's was a ring laser gyro, which Montreal here categorically rejects. So the cost effective solution he rejects as a solution.
I didn't reject anything. Don't put words in my mouth.
For the rotation of the
merely
aircraft.
trying to find a gyroscope that's sufficient to do the job. I've been trying to find one for years, so you know.
Okay,
but if hang on. But okay, so if someone says the one you need is $5,000, is that
okay? Then I'd say show it. Where can I go buy it? And let's maybe do a crowdfund and get this thing going. I don't know.
Okay, so it's not a there is not one. It's you want to know what is the one, how much is it going to cost. Stop telling me this one. You want to know which one you guys need at the minimalist level.
Yeah. The cheapest one that'll do the job. How's that?
Okay.
I got a question.
Does the one Bob built, is that one would that be sufficient for this?
Is it a mechanical one?
I believe so.
No.
No, okay, it's not. It's a ring laser.
Okay. Yeah. Well then, no. I see the problem. I just don't think you're willing to accept the advancement in technology and why.
No, I'm willing to accept that. I just showed you guys that. I don't want to say a double speak, but first you said we need $300,000.
No.
Approximately to build a machine. Hold on. Sensitive enough. And then I show you, well, this one, an FE core, doesn't cost a fraction of that. So there's a either
we were just showing you the ladder.
Going on here.
No one was saying you have to have a $300,000. We were just showing you the ladder, right? There are $300,000 ones that for instance they would put in something like Hubble, compared to, or actually the ones in Hubble are probably millions, compared to the ones something like Bob built that cost $10,000 or whatever. There is a range. The issue I think now is what is the acceptable range that you're willing to accept as possible. The only thing I could say is, have you looked up how much it costs to build a mechanical gyroscope, a basic one, just the basic cost of one, to make a good one?
Well, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here on your channel. You guys are ballers, right? That's why I'm here to ask you guys what you think would be sufficient. Because if I find something that's sufficient that I think, you guys are just going to maybe shoo it off. So I don't want to waste time, money, right? I want to find what's sufficient.
I don't think anybody said they would do that.
Wait, what? That's an easy task. Just find a model of a mechanical gyroscope that is capable of doing what he's talking about. Find the cheapest one, capable, and just send them the link.
Do you think there'd be an easier way of doing this though?
Absolutely.
Because you're essentially just trying to see whether or not it's going to process if you move 69 miles, right? If it's going to process 1 degree. Is that what you're trying to look for?
No, not precession. Orientation change.
Okay, so basically, orientation change. So it's going to orient itself. It's going to change 1 degree if you move 69 miles.
That's your model, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't there be a way cheaper way of finding out whether that happens in reality than to try and build this thousands and thousands of dollars of this $1,000 machine?
Tell us, people. What do you suggest? We're talking about gyroscopes now, but what do you suggest?
There's plenty of ways. You can just measure drop from horizontal. You can measure the precession of the stars. You can get 2 people and measure the angle to the sun. Like it's not that difficult.
So why do you have anything against this particular?
I don't. But there's easier ways of doing it.
Yeah, but we're talking about this way, bro.
Yeah, but there's easier ways. If that's all you're trying to find, and this way is kind of difficult and expensive. I mean, there's other ways of doing it.
Well, we can get into that, like with your observation over water and stuff like that. Do you really want to get into that?
If you really want to, sure.
No, bro, we're actually talking about gyroscopes. Like we're talking about a certain thing.
Okay. Well, is it that you don't believe that the gyros actually do that? Is that the
He said
problem?
It's not a question of belief, right? It's not a question of belief.
it.
It's just we want to show a demonstration. Because
I
somebody
mean,
that I trust did it. Shout out Rakia, and he says he didn't see any precession.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust a word from Rakia.
Exactly. So so what can I tell you? So that's why that's why I'm here, and I want to get.
Let me ask you about Rakia's actual test. Did he take his boat 69 miles and sit there and watch the gyroscope?
I think he did it on a plane, if I'm not mistaken.
On a plane, I think they're designed not to process, right?
What?
Aren't they designed to like counteract that
No, he's talking about a standalone gyroscope, supposedly.
Okay.
Rakia took a standalone gyroscope on an airplane sometime or the other and didn't see anything or whatever.
Okay. I think if I remember correctly, I can find it.
What was he supposed? What did he think he was supposed to see? Like, I'm curious about this test that he did.
Gotta ask you a question, though, S.E.
Sure.
How fast do we think the Earth rotates? What do we say? How many degrees per hour?
What do you say? You say 1 rotation per day. That's what you want me to say.
Well,
but what your boys say, 1,000 miles an hour.
I'm asking
at the
angular,
equator.
angular SE, not miles per hour. I want to know angular rotation.
Well, that's what I told you. 1 rotation per day. That's what you want to hear.
Okay, 360 degrees divided by 24 hours is what? 15 degrees per hour, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So you're already sitting on a platform that is rotating at 15 degrees per hour.
That's an assumption. That's an assumption.
Now, if you put now you introduce the second motion, which is the gyroscope moving over the surface of the Earth. How fast do you think the airplane can go? 15 degrees per hour at the equator